Okay, the meeting will now come to order. This is the quarterly legislative meeting of the Citizen Potawatomi Nation of May the 27th, 2021. If we could bow our heads for a word of prayer. We might vote. I'm going to pray. Amagosnan Shpimet, the Father of us all above, we are grateful for this good day. Amagosnan Yabdoyan Gininan Ode Minat Madziwin. Creator, you bring us good health and life. Kawamiaket so nan goik togoi. Watch over each and every one of us. Help those who are sick. Help those who are struggling. Help those in sorrow. And bless all who have come. You, Nachwayan. Amen. Amen. Next is the minutes of February the 25th, 2021. If we could read those into the record, please. We lost you, D-Wayne.
He's probably said we need a roll call.
Somebody's got him muted.
Sorry, I got, I guess the all mute got me. I'll start with the roll call and then proceed to the minutes with your permission. Tribal Chairman Barrett.
Shoda.
Vice Chairman Capps.
Shoda.
Secretary Treasurer Trousdale. Shoda. Representative Bowden.
She's muted.
Shoda.
Representative Barrett.
Shoda.
Representative Whistler.
Shut up.
Representative Wesselhoff.
Shoda.
Representative Walters.
Shoda.
Representative Smiddlecoffer.
Shoda.
Representative Eva Marie Carney.
Shoda.
Representative Bersall. Representative Lambert. Representative Payne.
Shoda.
Representative Johnson.
Shoda.
Representative Dave Carney.
Shoda.
(14) present, 1 absent.
14 present, 1 absent. We have a quorum.
Minutes of the special. Minutes of the special electronic legislative meeting, February 25th, 2021. Present, Chairman Barrett, Vice Chairman Capps, Secretary Trousdale, Representatives Barrett, Bersall, Bowden, Johnson, Lambert, Payne, Schoffer, Wesselhoff, and Whistler. None were absent. Guests were Andy Walters, Cora Walters, Mary Chisholm, Jennifer Bell, George Wright, and Jamie Mocha. Chairman Barrett called the meeting to order at 5:35 p.m., followed by the invocation. First item of business, minutes from the previous legislative meeting held on November 23rd, 2020. Motion to approve the minutes as read was made by Representative Bersall, seconded by Representative Smiddlecoffer. Motion passed, 14 in favor, 0 opposed. Second item of business, minutes from the previous legislative meeting held December 7th through 9th, 2020. Motion to approve the minutes as read was made by Representative Dave Carney, seconded by Representative Johnson. Motion passed, 14 in favor, 0 opposed. Third item of business, ordinance 21-OR-T4, an ordinance amending Title 4, Chapter 1, Election Code of the Citizen Potawatomi Nation Tribal Code. Motion to approve ordinance 21-01-RNG-OR-T4 was made by Representative Payne, seconded by Representative Bersall. Motion passed, 14 in favor, 0 opposed. Fourth item of business, resolution 21-29-RNG, a resolution confirming the appointment of Andrew Walters to fill the open position of District 11 on the tribal legislature until the next tribal election. Motion to approve resolution 21-29-RNG was made by Representative Whistler, seconded by Representative Smiddlecoffer. Motion passed 14 in favor, 0 opposed. Representative Walters was sworn into office by Chairman Barrett. The fifth item of business, Resolution 21-30-ED, a resolution approving the Citizen Potawatomi Nation's application for funding under the Institute of Museum and Library Services fiscal year 2021 Basic Library Service Program. Motion to approve Resolution 21-30-ED was made by Representative Lambert, second by Representative Wesselhoff. Motion passed 15 in favor, 0 opposed. Sixth item of business, Resolution 21-31-ED, resolution approving the Citizen Potawatomi Nation's application for funding under the United States Department of Education's Office for Career, Technical, and Adult Education's fiscal year 2021 Native American Career and Technical Education Program. Motion to approve Resolution 21-31-ED was made by Representative Barrett, seconded by Representative Wesselhoff. Motion passed 15 in favor, 0 opposed. Seventh item of business, Resolution 21-32-HHS, a resolution approving the Citizen Potawatomi Nation's application for supplemental funding under the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, Coronavirus Aid, Relief, and Economic Security CARES Act funding. Motion to approve Resolution 21-32-HHS was made by Representative Bersall and seconded by Representative Eva Marie Carney. Motion passed 15 in favor, 0 opposed. Eighth item of business, Resolution 21-33-HHS, a resolution approving Citizen Potawatomi Nation's application for funding under the United States Treasury Emergency Rental Assistance Program. Motion to approve Resolution 21-33-HHS was made by Representative Whistler, seconded by Representative Lambert. Motion passed 15 in favor, 0 opposed. Ninth item of business, Resolution 21-34-JNPS, a resolution approving the Citizen Potawatomi Nation's application for funding under the United States Department of Justice fiscal year 2021 Coordinated Tribal Assistance Solicitation CTAS Program. Motion to approve Resolution 21-34-JNPS was made by Representative Bowden, seconded by Representative Barrett. Motion passed 15 in favor, 0 opposed. 10th item of business, Resolution 21-35-JNPS, a resolution confirming the nominees for tribal judicial office subject to electoral confirmation by the General Counsel. Motion to approve Resolution 21-35-JNPS was made by Representative Walters and seconded by Representative Smilkofer. Motion passed 15 in favor, 0 opposed. 11th item of business, Resolution 21-36-TCNA, a resolution approving the Citizen Potawatomi Nation's application for funding under the National Park Service fiscal year 2021 Tribal Historic Preservation Office Grant Program. Motion to approve Resolution 21-36-TCNA was made by Representative Wesselhoff, seconded by Representative Johnson. Motion passed 15 in favor, 0 opposed. 12th item of business, Resolution 21-37-NR, a resolution approving a fee to trust acquisition application to the Bureau of Indian Affairs and request for trust acquisition on the non-gaming on-reservation Hardesty Grocery property. Motion to approve Resolution 21-37-NR was made by Eva Marie Carney, seconded by Representative Walters. Motion passed 15 in favor, 0 opposed. 13th item of business, Resolution 21-38-LCOE, a resolution acknowledging the voluntary relinquishment of Joanne Ray Beller. Motion to approve Resolution 21-38-LCOE was made by Representative Whistler, seconded by Representative Payne. Motion passed 15 in favor, 0 opposed. 14th item of business, Resolution 21-39-LCOE, a resolution enrolling 346 applicants into the membership of the Citizen Potawatomi Nation. Motion to approve Resolution 21-39-LCOE was made by Representative Dave Carney and seconded by Representative Barrett. Motion passed 15 in favor, 0 opposed. 15th item of business, Resolution 21-40-HHS, a resolution supporting an increase in funding for the Citizen Potawatomi Nation's Sanitation Construction Program, Public Law 86-121, for new, renovated, and like new homes offered through the United States Indian Health Services. Motion to approve Resolution 21-40-HHS was made by Representative Whistler, seconded by Representative Bowden. Motion passed 15 in favor, 0 opposed. 16th item of business, adjournment. There being no further business before the tribal legislature, motion to adjourn was made by Representative Smilkofer, seconded by Representative Lambert. Motion passed 15 in favor, 0 opposed. The meeting adjourned at 7:37 p.m.
Any additions, deletions, corrections, or discussion? Chair would entertain a motion to approve the minutes as read. Motion by Paul Spindlecoffer, seconded by Representative Bob Whistler. Roll call, please.
Chairman Barrett,
Tony Gay.
Vice Chairman Capps,
Guy.
Secretary Treasurer Trousdale, Koenig, Representative Bowden,
Tony Gay.
Representative Barrett,
Koenig.
Representative Whistler,
Koenig.
Representative Wesselhoff,
Koenig.
Representative Walters,
Koenig.
Representative Smillicoffer,
Koenig.
Representative Eva Marie Carney, Representative Bursall, Representative Lambert,
Tony
Representative Payne,
Koenig.
Representative Johnson,
Koenig.
Representative Dave Carney,
Koenig.
15 in favor, 0 opposed.
10 in favor, 0 opposed. The minutes are approved. Next is the minutes of the special electronic legislative meeting of April 1 through 7, 2021. If you could read that into the record, please.
Minutes of the special electronic legislative meeting, April 1st through 7th, 2021. Present, Chairman Barrett, Vice Chairman Capps, Secretary Treasurer Trousdale, Representatives Barrett, Bursall, Bowden, Dave Carney, Eva Marie Carney, Johnson, Kraft, Lambert, Payne, Schmidt-Coffer, Walters. I'm sorry, that's a typo that Lisa Kraft was not present. None were absent. Chairman Barrett called the meeting to order at 5:05 p.m. April 1st, 2021. First item of business, Resolution 21-41-LCOE, a resolution enrolling 204 applicants into the membership of the Citizen Potawatomi Nation. Motion to approve Resolution 21-41-LCOE was made by Representative Wesselhoff, seconded by Representative Walters. Motion passed, 15 in favor, 0 opposed. Second item of business, Resolution 21-42-APP, a resolution approving a 2021 through 2022 annual budget of $775,000 from the estimated earnings and interest on program money from judgment funds awarded by the United States Court of Claims, subject to approval by the General Counsel pursuant to Article 5, Section 3 of the Citizen Potawatomi Nation Constitution. Motion to approve Resolution 21-42-APP was made by Representative Wesselhoff, seconded by Representative Walters. Motion passed, 15 in favor, 0 opposed. Third item of business, adjournment. There being no further business before the tribal legislature, motion to adjourn was made by Representative Smillicoffer, seconded by Representative Barrett. Motion passed, 15 in favor, 0 opposed. Meeting adjourned 8:20 a.m. April 7th, 2021.
Are there any additions, deletions, corrections, or discussion? The chair would entertain a motion to approve the minutes as read. Motion made by Representative Bursall. Is there a second? Representative Walters. Roll call, please.
Chairman Barrett,
Tony Gay.
Vice Chairman Capps,
Tony Gay.
Secretary Treasurer Trousdale, Koenig, Representative Bowden,
Tony Gay.
Representative Barrett,
Koenig.
Representative Whistler,
Koenig.
Representative Walters,
Koenig.
Representative Smidlikofer,
Koenig.
Representative Eva Marie Carney,
Tony Gay.
Representative Bursall, Representative Lambert,
Koenig.
Representative Payne,
Koenig.
Representative Johnson,
Koenig.
Representative Dave Carney.
Koenig.
15 in favor, 0 opposed.
You didn't call my
15.
name.
You left off Mr. Wesselhoff.
Oh, my apologies. Representative Wesselhoff.
Koenig.
Thank you. Now we are 15 in favor, 0 opposed.
15 in favor, 0 opposed. They are approved. Next item on the agenda is Resolution 2143 HHS. If you could read that into the record, please, Secretary Treasurer Trousdale.
Resolution 21-43-HHS, a resolution accepting and supporting funding of the Citizen Potawatomi Nation's Sanitation Facilities Construction Program Public Law 86-121 for scattered existing homes offered through the United States Indian Health Service. Whereas the Citizen Potawatomi Nation is a federally recognized tribe of American Indians with constitutional authority under the Act of June 18, 1934, and the Oklahoma Indian Welfare Act of June 26, 1936. And whereas the Citizen Potawatomi Nation has sovereign powers that are inherent in tribal tradition, derived from a history of organized self-government since time immemorial, and recognized by treaties with the United States and in the Constitution of the United States. And whereas Article 4, Section 3 of the Citizen Potawatomi Nation Constitution provides for a separation of powers of the tribal government by the reservation and delegation of specific powers to other entities of the tribal government. And except for these specific limitations, all other general powers of government are embodied in the legislature's authority to enact legislation, transact business, and otherwise speak and act on behalf of the Citizen Potawatomi Nation in all matters on which the nation is empowered to act now or in the future. And whereas the Citizen Potawatomi Nation is submitting a project scope entitled Citizen Potawatomi Water and Wastewater Facilities for Scattered Existing Homes to the United States Indian Health Service, IHS, under the Office of Environmental Health Sanitation Facilities Construction Branch under the authority of Public Law 86-121 for the construction of sanitation facilities. And whereas the IHS will provide the funds and the Citizen Potawatomi Nation will design and construct the facilities under the provisions of the Self-Governance Compact that became effective in fiscal year 1998. The total cost to IHS for providing sanitation facilities to 42 eligible homes is $330,500 with a tribal contribution of $3,500 for a total of $334,000. And whereas the Citizen Potawatomi Nation fully supports the entire project for the construction of the sanitation facilities as provided by the provisions of its self-governance compact with IHS/DHHS that became effective in fiscal year 1998 and the multi-year funding agreement 2018 through 2022 with the IHS/DHHS executed by these parties and effective in April 2018 in connection with said compact. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the legislature of the Citizen Potawatomi Nation that a resolution accepting and supporting funding offered by the Indian Health Services for the Citizen Potawatomi Nation Sanitation Facilities Construction Program under Public Law 86-121 for scattered existing homes is hereby approved. Now, therefore, be it further resolved that by act of this resolution and consistent with the separation of powers defined in the Constitution, if awarded, an appropriation of $330,500 from the Office of Environmental Health or other applicable accounts for the implementation, negotiation, operation, enforcement, procurement, settlement, and or completion of this contract, compact, regulation, or agreement by the tribal chairman or his designate is hereby authorized.
Are there any additions, deletions, corrections, or discussion? Chair would entertain a motion to, I'm sorry, Ms. Carney?
Yeah, I just had just one point. Since we have to make a match, albeit small, should the number in the resolution, in the final resolution paragraph, actually be 333? Shouldn't we be adding the $3,500 to that number?
Yes, we should.
I think it's showing that we're getting 330,000 from the Office of Environmental Health.
And then we're putting up 3,500, but what she's saying is the entire appropriation is
Yeah.
$330,500 plus $3,500, which would make it 3,300.
334.
334,000, 334,000, is that correct?
My question, Chairman, is that 3,500 not in kind? Or is that actual cash dollars?
It's actually cash dollars, and I'll tell you about that 3,500. Some tribes don't make any kind of payment. They're not obligated to make a payment. But Curtis Silas, who is also a Potawatomi tribal member, he's the head of Office of Environmental Health for us. He thinks that it's good faith for us to put a little bit of money in that pot. And I think he's right, because the people at the environmental health, they think highly of Curtis. And so I think that it has helped us get some awards, some extra awards from them from time to time, because we have a little bit of skin in the game, you might say. So I think it's been a good gesture. We tried to do that every year, put some money in. So, but as far as that being the total, I would just have to look and see how we do others. Jamie's the one that types those up.
Ms. Carney, Representative Carney is correct. The number in the very last, now therefore be it resolved, should be $334,000 even.
Excuse me, Chairman.
Yes.
I would disagree from the standpoint that the word is prefaced by appropriation. The appropriation is actually 335, and we need to delete the word appropriation so that you would come up with the 334.
Well, actually, what we do is when this money is approved by this resolution, we'll create a separate bank account at First National Bank. And that bank account will contain $334,000. And then we'll appropriate from that account.
Okay. I misread it then, because I was thinking the appropriation is from Indian Health Services.
But actually, they'll send us a check, and then we'll create the account, the revenue account to appropriate from.
Okay, I understand. Thank you.
Any other additions, deletions, corrections, or discussion? The chairman entertain a motion to approve the resolution as amended.
So moved.
Motion made by Representative Wesselhoff, seconded by Representative Lambert. Roll call, please.
Chairman Barrett,
Okay.
Vice Chairman Capps,
Tony Gay.
Secretary Treasurer Trousdale, Konigay, Representative Bowden,
Tony Gay.
Representative Barrett,
Okay.
Representative Whistler,
Okay.
Representative Wesselhoff,
Okay.
Representative Walters,
Okay.
Representative Smiddlecoffer,
Konigay.
Representative Eva Marie Carney,
Konigay.
Representative Bersall, Representative Lambert,
Tony Gay.
Representative Payne,
Konigay.
Representative Johnson,
Koenig.
Representative Dave Carney,
Koenig.
15 in favor, 0 opposed.
15 in favor, 0 opposed. It is approved. Next item on the agenda is resolution 2144 HHS. If you could read that into the record, please, Secretary Treasurer Trousdale.
Resolution 21-44-HHS, a resolution authorizing the System Nation's application for funding through the fiscal year 2022 Department of Health and Human Services Community Services Block Grant Program. First three whereas are the same as read in previous resolution. The fourth whereas, the System Nation Public Law 102-477 program, Employment and Training Social Services, assists low-income Native American households who are otherwise ineligible for 477 program funds with fuel costs or other emergency needs, such as utility payments or medical-related needs. And whereas if funded, the System Nation will receive an estimated $168,000 in Community Services Block Grant, CSBG, to deliver such assistance. And now therefore be it resolved by the legislature of the System Nation that a resolution authorizing the submission of the System Nation's application for funding to the Department of Health and Human Services fiscal year 2022 Community Services Block Grant Program is hereby approved. Now therefore be it further resolved that by act of this resolution and consistent with the separation of powers defined in the Constitution, if awarded, an appropriation of federal funds up to $168,000 from the fiscal year 22 CSBG fund or other applicable account for the implementation, negotiation, operation, enforcement, procurement, settlement, and or completion of this contract, compact, regulation, or agreement by the tribal chairman and his designate is hereby authorized.
Are there any additions, deletions, corrections, or discussion?
I would like to say that Margaret Zentek worked real hard on this particular funding. We used to get about $23,000, $25,000. And about 5 years ago, she went to DC to fight for more money. And so we get around 170,000 a year. And that's just from fighting for it. So that is for a voucher, a travel voucher. You might get a voucher for $5 for gasoline, so you can go to the doctor, or so you can go and apply for a job, or you can go to the grocery store. So it's for our low income individuals that don't have transportation.
Is there any other discussion? Chair would entertain a motion to approve the resolution as read. Motion made by Representative Dave Carney, seconded by Representative Randy Payne. Roll call, please.
Chairman Barrett,
Legay.
Vice Chairman Capps,
Okay,
Secretary Treasurer Trousdale, Konigay, Representative Bowden,
Honegay,
Representative Barrett,
Konagay.
Representative Whistler,
Konigay.
Representative Wesselhoff,
Konigay.
Representative Walters,
Konagay.
Representative Schmidelkoffer,
Konigay.
Representative Eva Marie Carney, Representative Bersall, Representative Lambert,
Honegay,
Representative Payne,
Konagay.
Representative Johnson,
Konagay.
Representative Dave Carney,
Konagay.
15 in favor, 0 opposed.
10 in favor, 0 opposed. It is approved. Next is Resolution 2145, HHS. You read that into the record, please, Secretary Treasurer Trousdale.
Resolution 21-45-HHS, a resolution approving the Citizen Potawatomi Nation's application for funding under the Department of Health and Human Services fiscal year 2022 lower income home and energy assistance program. First three as whereas, the same as read in previous resolution. The fourth whereas, the Citizen Potawatomi Nation Public Law 102-477 program, Workforce and Social Services, assists eligible low-income clients with home energy costs by paying utility companies directly for energy consumption. And whereas if funded, the Citizen Potawatomi Nation will receive an estimated $330,000 in LIHEAP funds to deliver such assistance. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the legislature of the Citizen Potawatomi Nation that a resolution authorizing the submission of the Citizen Potawatomi Nation's application for funding to the Department of Health and Human Services fiscal year 2022 lower income home and energy assistance program is hereby approved. Now, therefore, be it further resolved that by act of this resolution and consistent with the separation of powers defined in the Constitution, if awarded, an appropriation of federal funds up to $330,000 from the fiscal year 22 LIHEAP fund for the implementation, negotiation, operation, enforcement, procurement, settlement, and or completion of this contract, compact, regulation, or agreement by the tribal chairman or his designate is hereby authorized.
Any additions, deletions, corrections, or discussion?
this is another one of the funding items that Margaret fought for, and we used to get around $100,000, and now we get $330,000. So she has done a good job, and this is really good for our people. It's the LIHEAP program.
Any further discussion? Ms. Lambert? You're on mute.
Is that available for anyone out of the district or the jurisdiction? I mean,
There's actually programs in almost every state and almost all larger cities and communities. They do have the LIHEAP program because that's a national program. But our monies, there again, have to stay within the districts or within our jurisdiction because they're for our area. But your people, Native Americans, are eligible for other states to get LIHEAP funds.
right. Thank you.
Is there any further discussion? Chair would entertain a motion to approve the resolution as read. Motion made by Representative Eva Marie Carney. Is there a second?
Second.
seconded by Representative Bob Whistler. Roll call, please.
Chairman Barrett,
Hoonigan.
Vice Chairman Capps,
Tony Gay.
Secretary Treasurer Trousdale, Donegay, Representative Bowden,
Tony Gay.
Representative Barrett,
Okay.
Representative Whistler,
Tony Gay.
Representative Wesselhoff,
Tony Gay.
Representative Walters,
Okay.
Representative Smiddlecoffer,
Tony Gay.
Representative Eve Marie Carney,
Donaghy.
Representative Bersall,
Okay.
Representative Lambert,
Konigay,
Representative Payne,
Tony Gay.
Representative Johnson,
Konigay.
Representative Dave Carney, Representative Dave Carney. 15 in favor,
Carney.
0 opposed.
15 in favor, 0 opposed. It is approved. Next is Resolution 2147, JNPS.
Resolution 21-46-HHS, a resolution approving the Citizen Poly Nation's application for funding under the Indian Health Service Fiscal Year 2021 Special Diabetes Program for Indians Supplemental Program. First three whereas are the same as read in previous resolution. The fourth whereas, the Citizen Potawatomi Nation has successfully operated a diabetes program as part of CPN Health Services for over 20 years. And whereas grantees in good standing are eligible to apply for additional funds for this year only, which will result in additional funding distribution of up to $250,000. Now therefore be it resolved by the legislature of the Citizen Poly Nation that a resolution authorizing the submission of the Citizen Poly Nation's application for funding to the Indian Health Service Fiscal Year 2021 Special Diabetes Program for Indian Supplemental Program is hereby approved. Now therefore be it further resolved that by act of this resolution and consistent with the separation of powers defined in the Constitution, if awarded, an appropriation of federal funds up to $250,000 from the fiscal year 21 SDPI fund or other applicable accounts for the implementation, negotiation, operation, enforcement, procurement, settlement, and or completion of this contract, compact, regulation, or agreement by the tribal chairman or his designate is hereby authorized.
Any additions, deletions, or discussion?
I want to say this about this one. These all come from,
Marie has a question.
Oh,
too.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
these all come from my committee, and that's why I'm commenting on them. John Bersall, Jean Lambert, and David Barrett are on my committee, Health Committee. But this one, that $250,000 is additional money for the diabetic program. And our annual allowance is about $1 million. We usually get around $1 million. So this $250,000 will help a lot. That diabetic program is wonderful. You know, they provide diabetic shoes for some of our people, especially the elders. They even have a diabetic nurse that helps with the care of your feet. We have lots of elders that go to that, I call it the foot doctor, but he's not really a foot doctor, he's a nurse. And he helps keep your feet healthy.
It's Chris Green.
No, Chris, I can't think of his last name. Anyway,
Any of you in Oklahoma that aren't going to visit him, he's dynamite. It's really good. It's worth going to see him. He'll fix your feet.
and that money provides for all the diabetic program that we have. We really have a good program. So if you're here for a visit and you want to get your feet checked out, we can make arrangements for that.
Just sand off your calluses, cut your toenails. Generally leave your feet in a lot better shape than when he found them.
But he doesn't polish your toenails.
No, he don't. He doesn't do polish.
John has a question.
Yes, John.
I don't want the rest to be jealous, but I have that same service in Rossville with our nurses there.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
They do it once a month.
That's wonderful.
Is there any further discussion? Chair would entertain a motion to approve the 2146 HHS as read. Motion made by Representative Bob Whistler. Is there a second?
A second.
Seconded by, is that Bowden? By Representative Bowden. Roll call, please.
Chairman Barrett,
Okay.
Vice Chairman Capps,
Donaghy,
Secretary Treasurer Trousdale, Konigay, Representative Bowden,
Koenigsegg.
Representative Barrett,
Donaghy.
Representative Whistler,
Okay.
Representative Wesselhoft,
Donaghy.
Representative Walters,
Donaghy.
Representative Spindlecoffer,
Donaghy.
Representative Eva Marie Carney,
Okay.
Representative Bersall,
Okay.
Representative Lambert,
Koenigsegg,
Representative Payne,
Donaghy.
Representative Johnson,
Koenigsegg.
Representative Dave Carney,
Koenigsegg.
15 in favor, 0 opposed.
15 in favor, 0 opposed. It is approved. Next is resolution 2147, JNPS.
Chairman, can I address you?
As long as you don't use permanent marker on it.
I was not given the JMPS resolutions to vote it out of committee. The letter that you sent or gave to me at the last legislative session, you assign or you're transferring me from the rules and government to the education. But I was on the JMPS and I did not get that to vote out of committee.
Well, that's my mistake. Shall we wait? You can review it. We're willing to wait.
You mean for what?
If you get a chance, you want to review the bill.
No, I've reviewed the bill. I could, I'm assuming that the majority had passed it out. So all I'm saying is I didn't have the opportunity to get it to vote out of the committee. But the committee, I'm sure, had enough to vote it out.
That was my fault. I'll make sure it doesn't happen again. Any other discussion? Let's see, we're at the read it into the record stage, aren't we?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Resolution 21-47-JNPS, a resolution authorizing the Citizen Poly Nation's application for funding through the United States Department of Justice under the fiscal year 2021 Office for Victims of Crime Tribal Victim Services Set-Aside Formula Program. First three whereas are the same as read in the previous resolution. The fourth whereas, the United States Department of Justice, DOJ, Office of Justice Programs, Office for Victims of Crime, OVC, is seeking applications for funding under the fiscal year 2021 Tribal Victim Services Set-Aside Formula Program to further DOJ's mission by improving public safety, supporting Indian tribes, and enhancing services for victims of crimes. And whereas DOJ plans to award formula funding based on tribal population in support of OVC's mission is to provide support to tribal communities to improve services for victims of crime. And whereas Citizen Potawatomi Nation has been allocated and desires to apply for funding of up to $560,683 under the fiscal year 2021 Department of Justice Office for Victims of Crime Tribal Victim Services Set-Aside Formula Program to continue and enhance the CPN Indian Child Welfare ICW program. And now therefore be it resolved by the legislature of the Citizen Potawatomi Nation that a resolution authorizing the Citizen Potawatomi Nation's application for funding to the United States Department of Justice fiscal year 2021 Office for Victims of Crime Tribal Victim Services Set-Aside Program is hereby approved. Now therefore be it further resolved that by act of this resolution and consistent with the separation of powers defined in the Constitution, if awarded an appropriation of federal funds up to $560,683 from the fiscal year 2021 DOJ OVC TVSSA fund or other applicable accounts for the implementation, negotiation, operation, enforcement, procurement, settlement, and or completion of this contract, compact, regulation, agreement by the tribal chairman or his designate is hereby authorized.
Are there any additions, deletions, discussion?
I have one question, Chairman.
Attorney Whistler?
This is a brand new grant, is it not?
Yeah,
That we're
Yes,
applying for?
yes, it is, but
It's not-
we've been funded for this before.
Yeah, we are funded every year for a portion of it.
Okay, but it is new. That amount of money is new to us, right?
Yes,
This is not part of like a 5-year program or anything.
not to my knowledge, no.
Okay.
Chairman, can I ask a question real quick?
Certainly.
The funds, are they only available if there's a child victim under the Child Welfare Act, or is it for any crime victim?
No. This is for
Any crime victim?
Yeah,
justice.
Is it in supplement to some states have their own crime victim act where they reimburse victims for certain things?
Mhm.
Is this enhance that, or is it in lieu of that, or can people actually double dip? Or is it only within our?
I do not believe that there would be reimbursements in this particular grant. It's more for operations. Our attorney could, well, he's not here, but I do not believe that we reimburse. with this.
Okay, so this is just for operational within the tribe itself.
I don't know of any program that we have at the nation, like a grant that actually reimburses. So this is not, it's a justice program.
Ms. Katz, this would also cover females that are crime victims too, right?
Sure.
The reason I ask that is because it made reference to the child portion of it, but I didn't see it specifically for females, but I thought I would ask.
No.
I'm sure it all falls under all of that.
Enhance the Indian Child Welfare Program.
Right.
So it would enhance that
Okay, good.
program, but not necessarily solely for that program.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Any other discussion? Chairman, entertain a motion to approve the resolution is read. Motion made by Representative Mark Johnson, seconded by Representative Walters. Roll call, please.
Chairman Barrett,
Honeygate.
Vice Chairman Katz,
Connie Guy,
Secretary Treasurer Trousdale, Konigay, Representative Bowden,
Koenigsegg,
Representative Barrett,
Conagay,
Representative Whistler,
Okay.
Representative Wesselhoff,
Koenig.
Representative Walters,
Okay,
Representative Schmidelkoffer, Representative Eva Marie Carney, Representative Bersall, Representative Lambert,
Koenigsegg,
Representative Payne,
Koenig.
Representative Johnson,
Koenigsegg.
Representative Dave Carney,
Koenigsegg.
15 in favor, 0 opposed.
10 in favor, 0 opposed. It is approved. Next is Resolution 2148, JNPS. You could read that into the record, please, Secretary Treasurer Trousdale.
Resolution 21-48-JNPS, a resolution approving the Citizen Pollination application for funding under the Department of Homeland Security Federal Emergency Management Agency fiscal year 2022 Tribal Homeland Security Grant Program. First three whereas are the same as read in the previous resolution. The fourth whereas, the Citizen Potawatomi Nation has a need for funding to support its information technology structure through cybersecurity enhancement to improve the overall security posture. And whereas the Department of Homeland Security Federal Emergency Management Agency, FEMA, is offering grants for tribes to help prevent, protect against, respond to, and recover from terrorist attacks and strengthen national preparedness and resilience up to $844,000. And whereas the Citizen Potawatomi Nation Information Technology IT Department is preparing an application entitled CPN Tribal Homeland Security Grant Program fiscal year 21, which will improve the current information technology security posture to reduce the risk of cyber attacks, data breaches, and other cyber threats. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the legislature of the Citizen Potawatomi Nation that a resolution authorizing the submission of Citizen Potawatomi Nation's request for funding to the Department of Homeland Security Federal Emergency Management Agency Tribal Homeland Security Grant Program is hereby approved. Now therefore be it further resolved that by act of this resolution and consistent with the separation of powers defined in the Constitution, if awarded, an appropriation of federal funds up to $844,000 from the fiscal year 21 Tribal Homeland Security Grant Program Fund or other applicable accounts for the implementation, negotiation, operation, enforcement, procurement, settlement, and or completion of this contract, compact, regulation, or agreement by the tribal chairman or his designate is hereby authorized.
Chris, are you still handy?
Yes, sir. I'll be right there.
This is Chris Abel. He's Director of Information Technology. How many times, Chris, since you've been here, have we been fought off a hack attempt or a ransomware attempt or
I would say countless.
just countless?
Yes. I know that we were specifically hit by ransomware at one time and we had to recover from that. As far as actual attacks, we get attacks daily.
Besides the daily attacks and the one ransomware one that got through and hit us pretty hard, did we have any that got into our system that caused us to have to put in new software and start from scratch?
No, but we continue to improve our software as we can to try to stop those types of attacks.
Okay,
So but it's an ever-changing thing.
but we as large as our system is and as many people as we have doing the various kinds of business, we are exposed on a daily basis at almost every level in the tribe. And Chris's crew has done a great job of heading those off, but it takes specialized training and some equipment that this $844,000 is going to help some on.
So the software that we're looking at is a combination of software and hardware where it will allow a managed system that if, and I apologize, I didn't know I was going to speak, by the way. It will allow us to have a monitoring going on after hours when someone is not specifically looking at those types of attacks that are coming through and help us be better protected across the entire network.
Okay, thank you, Chris.
Excuse me, Chairman Chris. I happened to be with Chris earlier today, and I learned that he just received his Bachelor of Science degree in Information Technology,
That's true.
which I think is quite an accomplishment considering he's holding down a full-time job and pursuing his education in this particular field. My congratulations to you.
May I say that Angelique Williams in housing also received hers at the same time, and they're going to the same school. So
Great,
we're proud of Angelique also in housing.
thank you.
Where did I leave you, Dwayne?
Call the question.
On the question, Chair would entertain a motion to approve 2148 JNPS as read.
Second.
Motion made by David Barrett. Is there a second by Mark Johnson? Yes, second by Mark Johnson. Roll call, please.
Chairman Barrett,
Tony Gay.
Vice Chairman Capps,
Tony Guy,
Secretary Treasurer Trousdale, Koenig Gay, Representative Bowden,
Tony Gay.
Representative Barrett,
Okay.
Representative Whistler,
Okay.
Representative Wesselhoff,
Tony Gay.
Representative Walters,
Okay.
Representative Smiddlecoffer,
Okay.
Representative Eva Marie Carney, Representative Bersall,
Yeah.
Representative Lambert,
Koenig,
Representative Payne,
Tony
Representative Johnson,
Koenig,
Representative Dave Carney.
Koenig.
15 in favor, 0 opposed.
In favor, 0 opposed, it is approved. Next is a resolution of enrollment into the membership of the Citizen Potawatomi Nation. It's resolution 2149 LCOE. If you could read that into the record, please, Secretary Treasurer Trousdale.
Resolution 21-49 LCOE, a resolution of enrollment into the membership of the Citizen Potawatomi Nation. First three whereas are the same as read in the previous resolution. The fourth whereas, the following people have requested enrollment in the tribe and meet the requirements for membership as set forth in Article 3 of the Constitution of the Citizen Potawatomi Nation. Tracy Lee Barr, Samantha Marie McSwain, Ashley Alexander Emerson, Emily Ann Louise Monta, Nicholas Lloyd Graham,
Get a shut out.
Phoebe Ray Christensen, Alex Dean Christensen, J.C. Tyler Boone, Alice Marie Showman, Austin Miles Kilgo, Aubrey Elise Kilgo, Phyllis Green Bussard, Pearl Garrett Bussard, Harriet Joyce Bussard, George Banks Poe, Charles Davidson Poe, Elijah David Moore, June Harper Moore, Egwin Kyle Wilson, Jackson Forrest Mathis, James Campbell Mathis, Emily Sarah Root, Allison Jane Root, Savannah Rose Ressler, Bailey Parrish Marsh, Scarlett Ireland Marsh, Cassianne May Mahoney, Peter Onufrius Mahoney, Ethan Arthur Call, Gavin Wade Leitner, Bryson Lee Childers, Alexis Marie Rhodey, Alexander Matthew Green, Austin Oliver Green, Finnegan Silas Hodge, Sawyer Isabella Hodge, Abigail Josephine Hodge, Gavin Donald Turley, Mason Abel Slater, Colette Simone Davy, Liberty Ray Navarre, Mary Elizabeth Mowdy, Theodore Robert Mowdy, Simeon Michael Davis, Rayleigh June Berger, Rylan Edward Weisnor, Ava Jo Martin, Cora Lane Martin, Maiden Marie Martin, Sheldon Taylor Walton, Chandler William Holmes, Bianca Marie Costello, Skyland Tybee Womble, Finley Blake Varney, Bo William Varney, Micah Allen Tafoya Campbell, Skylar Grace Perrell, Allison K. Magee, Auden Lilia Dodge, Ren Catherine Dodge, Benjamin Charles Smith, Natasha Elizabeth Day, Rocco Garcia Soma, Brittany Lorraine Yeager, Cameron Lee Savage, Caden Levi Savage, Cambria Dawn Savage, Christian Seth Savage Jr., Griffin Dean Labby, Zoe Maxine Masteller, Mike Dean Vilvin, Samuel Cleveland Alexander Robertson, Rosalia Bell Aviva Robertson, Nakaya Shai Pish, Desiree Lee Wolf, Sugar Ray Eugene Smith II, Adonis Jaleel Rachel Smith, Zaire Cariz Smith, Madison and Nicole McIntyre, Kennedy Michelle Marie McIntyre, Josephine Primrose Conkle, James Michael Coy Lemming, Bailey Nicole Lemming, Azalea Dream Weaver, Dylan Michael Hochard, Charles Zool Wheeler, Gage Allen Minden, Emma Noel Drain, and Miguel Nicole Drain, Paul Satha Pettit, Lucy Lana Pettit, Carter Reed Johnson, Amy Lynn Corson, Lucas Zachariah Emmert, Lily Kathleen Adams, Kelly Jean Vilvin, Tess Madeline Ivy, William Thaddeus Dalton, Philip Joseph Strange, Jacob Levi Dykeman, Abigail Noel Dykeman, James Daniel Cargill, Luke Matthew Cargill, Thomas Timothy Cargill, Rachel Linda Cargill, Brittany Brianna Bibb, Stephen Lee Tyler Hart II, Juliana Marie Encinas, Kenneth Andrew Baker II, Cassidy Lynn Brazil, Kinsey Alexander Martin, Preston Samuel Martin, Jake Allen Muse, Ryan Watley Melneziak, Ivy Sue Victoria Elizabeth Bruce, Anna Renee Schossner, Savannah Marie Isabella, Dominic Leonard Isabella, Colton Levi Caldwell, Michael Robert Brenton, Landon Allen Barker, Kinsey Sue Baker. Sorry, that was Landon Allen Baker as well. Benjamin Augustine Barnard, Emma Alexander Luck, Bailey Jane Luck, Reagan Elaine Baker, Kinsley Rose Baker, Ruby Jean Baker, Luke Scott Stevens, Emily Claire Stevens, Adelie Renee Tague, Olivia Faith Tague, Aubrey Nicole Tague, Asen Shane Tague, Gwen Austin Modi, Ella Ray Modi, Easton Dean Schoonover, Trenton Heath Schoonover, Caston Rhett Schoonover, Mason Ann Reese Schoonover, Kelsey Taylor Proctor, Wheeler David Carnahan, Marky May Lynn Carnahan, Kimberly Ann Cousins, Gary Davis Corson Jr., Aurelius Lee Chavez, Angel Ceciliano Chavez, Ashton Isidro Chavez, and Sophia Vespa Crumbo, Harper Scout Crumbo, Riley Hunter Russell, Zachary Ryan Russell, Trip Rowe Wright, Finley Grace Dockery, Ashley K. Thompson, Emily Lynn Thompson, Mario Hector De Leon Jr., Elena Ann De Leon, Marcus Manuel De Leon, Boyd Scott Wolf, Tatis Michael Spellis, Axel Robert Spellis, Kaylin Lee Cunningham, Cassie Michelle Cunningham, Victoria Deborah Engel, Kaylee Ann Hester, Lucas Ryan Hester, Alexander Lee Hester, Joel Dwayne Goyer, Austin Ryan Henson, Matthew Allen Moore, Anora Elizabeth Longhurst, Reuben John Longhurst, Sasha Louise Longhurst, Declan Charles Bowles, Isaac Benjamin Bowles, Wyatt James Holly, Emma Jolie Bruno, Madison Lynn Bruno, Maria Ann Marks, Curtis Robert McDaniel, Court Stephen McDaniel, Rylan Russell McDaniel, Braxton Lee Holloway, Braden Keith Holloway, Addison Page Holloway, Evelyn Bell Keefe, Lakin Ann Keefe, Bennett Dale Waddle, Luca James Chittenden, Brooklyn Jean Milan, Adeline Renee Lawson, Gavin Wayne Lawson, Andrew William Ray Lawson, Pamela Jane Bonsall, Emily Jane Bonsall, William Timothy Bonsall, Ryan Harrison Martell, Chance Michael Burke, Carly McKenzie Burke, Christy Nicole Calloway, Arwen Nicole Calloway, William Owen Calloway, Raven Rose Lambert, Olivia Ann Gray, Lauren Elizabeth Johnson, Ethan Matthew Johnson, Landon Jacks Bell, Tucker Levi Franz, Remington Dale Franz, Madison Chris Franz, Darren James Scrivener, Brittany Marie Coleman, Michael Cody Caswell, Colby Wayne Smith, Heather Lynn Rapp, Blakeland Marie Hartman, Victoria Noel Eldon, Eleanor Sue Rojas, Andrew James Stinson, Hunter Thomas George, Harper Renee George, Reagan Renee Stratford, Francis Marie Stevenson, Nancy Jean Stevenson, Robert Ryan Greider, Ryan Cooper Greider, Micah James Shanner, Hope May Kirkland, Kenton Allen Kirkland, Ronan Douglas Wheeler, Sydney Monju Wheeler, Hazel Joyce Crane, Chester Daniel Crane, Robert Lucas Petticord, Marley Joe Smith, Cynthia Jillian Prince, Carter Jillian Clary, Colin Lane Hayes, Tatum Blake Hayes, Jet Randall Kime, Jeremiah Cole Fink, Brooklyn Renee Wise, Harlow Grace Baker, Thomas Robert Dowdall, Clancy Ann Streben, Preston Lee Scott Hogue, Denise Carol Jones, Reese Olivia Reynolds, Hadley Grace Reynolds, Azalea B. Anton, Dylan Patrick Swaggerty, John Grady Cole Swaggerty, Seamus Michael Miller, Tegan Marie Miller, Mav Emilia Miller, Zoe Brianne Miller, Corbin Reed Miller, Kaisley Dawn Miller, Nolan Jeffrey Miller, Jackson Robert Evans, Nathan Tyler Stoney, Kalia Nicole Stoney, Nevea Lynn Reed, Joseph Dean Reed, William James Carr, James Bradley Carr, Donna Lois Bender, Blaine Taylor Harrison, Zoe D. Harrison, Charlotte Ann Wenzel, June Morgan Wenzel, Davis Burton Life, Pearson Rawlings Life, Stella K. Martin, Kaylee Joe Higbee, John Glenn Milo, Hudson Callahan Lively, Eloise Dawn Bourbonnais, Felicity Lindsay Ann Toon, Iva N. Moeller, Ashley June Marie Webb, Marilyn Lorelei Curd, J.C. J. Johnson, Anna Kristen Helstern, Chloe Sue Helstern, Michael Lynn Warfel, Reagan Lynn Warfel, Everett Lee Warfel, Emery Ashlyn Yelloweyes, Curtis Glenn Flax, Brianna Rayanne Flax, Erin Christine Rose Edwards, Donovan Wade Wisdom, Mackenzie Reagan Wisdom, Peyton Oliver Wisdom, Sawyer Schmidt Oliver Wisdom, Waylon Wade Oliver Wisdom, Courtney Ann Swan, Grady Allen Combs, Macy Elaine Lewis, Peyton Marie Lewis, Nolan Jean Lewis, Arthur Thomas Riley, Dylan Raphael Alpe, Braylon Cash Alpe, Asher Noah Carlisle, Natalie Carey Torres, Melody Wren Svergic, Declan Morgan O'Berry, Keegan Doyle O'Berry, Axel Duffy Johnson, Sadie June Johnson, Benjamin Robert Poisedlik, Eleanor Grace Lee Poisedlik, Olivia Page Goad, Aubrey Sky Goad, Tylen Mitchell Goad, Everett Wolf Halliburton, Ethan Allen James McLeod, Andrew Cole McLeod, Ivan Cruz Lorson Quintana, Aracely Amaya Campos, Jesse Ray Parker, J. William Parker, Emerson Jacob Naker, Eliana Eileen Naper, Caroline Ann Doster, Vivian Margaret Doster, Ingrid Nico Keswood, Charlotte Irene Ridley, Noah Michael Belenik, Lauren Dawn Foreman, Brent Jordan Blecka, Rachel Reyna Dellinger, Paisley James Hanche, Vivian May Wisdom, Paula Michelle Schwabel, Shanna Elise Schwabel, William Joshua DeVader, Austin Mitchell Blosey, Damian Ryan Markser, Dylan Ray Markser, Heaven Lynn Hill, Janie Nadine Bush, Gentry Thomas Mitchell, Pierce Andrew Mitchell, Tatum Allen Snyder, Rowan Elaine Day, Denise Marie Biermeister, Frederick James Biermeister, Luke Jonathan Biermeister, Madeline Jean Gerhardt, Abigail Cecilia Hogan, Josie Lynn Hogan, Danica Marie Hogan, Matthew David Hanson, Clay Macon Kinney, Andrew James LaRue, Lauren Audrey LaRue, Carolyn Grace LaRue, Madeline Ashley LaRue, Cohen James Sander, Carlos Adrian Gaines Ramirez, Heather Marie Montanino, Nina Teresa Hodges, Naomi Ann Hodges, Joseph Gavin Mencia, Seth Michael Mencia, Ellison Noel Thomas, Laura Nicole Muse, Evelyn Nicole McCarty, Paisley Grace Cook, Nora Grace Doby, John Mark Storm, Gustav Cornelius Emmanuel Frank, Hazel Lynn Wells, Brian Jesse Coleman, Kanan Wesley Sagenhagen, Clayton Eugene Terry, Dalton Lane Terry, Julia Renee Workman, Lindsay Renee Peterson, Michael Paul Peterson Jr., Lily Ray Peterson, Wesley Bodine Peterson, Cooper Liam Scott, Kaylin Page Scott, Bridget Mauve Vreeland, Gabriel Don Brilhart, Eric Carmichael Weaver, Hannah Jean Morris, Grace Elizabeth Rice, Greer Caroline Bilo, Chloe DeKilius Weaver, Kaylin Elizabeth Hicks, Kyler James Siebert, Scott Ryan Tipton, London Evalie May Richardson, James Allen Ruddick, William Howard Ruddick, Michael Lee Ruddick, Gabriel Aaron Lindsay, Emery Faith Forbes, Jackson Fulton Meadows, Casey Dawson Pulliam, Maya Ann Pulliam, Gemma Victoria DeChellis. Now therefore be it resolved by the legislature of the Citizen Potawatomi Nation that a resolution enrolling the above named persons as members of the Citizen Potawatomi Nation who have, by virtue of their written request for enrollment, agreed to the obligations of such membership and consented to the authority and jurisdiction of the government of the Citizen Potawatomi Nation, and are now entitled to all benefits and privileges of the Citizen Potawatomi Nation as described by law and tribal custom, is hereby approved.
Any additions, deletions, corrections, or discussion?
Chairman, I'd like to address Linda Capps, or Chairman, Vice Chairman Capps. On page 12, about all 6, 8 names down, John Mark Storm, and his mother was Joanna. I think that is Susan Beth's husband, Susan Ely.
Oh, is it?
Well, I think so, because her name is Joanna, and I didn't know if you caught that. And see, he's about that age, her husband, 63. I didn't know if you caught that, but that was, you know,
I bet that is right.
yeah, his name is John, and you know, just thought I'd
Oh,
bring
very-
that to you.
Very good. Yeah, thank you. I make a motion to approve.
Chairman, could I make just a real quick comment? We just talked about the identity theft thing. Would it be possible to print these in the future without the dates of birth for these people? Because we're given names and dates of birth combination that can be used.
May I answer that? The only thing about that, and I wish that we could do that, but I mean, this is a document that we save in tribal rolls.
Yes.
And I don't see how we could keep up with them unless we had their.
I'm saying it'd be great, but to put them on to this that could be either made public. I don't know if this is available to the general public as a document from this meeting. Or
That's a good point.
if not, maybe we ought to just be really careful as legislators not to let these things get out of our hands.
You sound like you're from law enforcement.
I am now sensitive to it.
One thing we could do is have a distribution of the resolution without the birth dates and the signed copy that the Secretary Treasurer and the Chairman sign could have the dates of birth on it, because it goes directly from us to tribal rolls. So we could fix that.
But so many times, we like to look at this to see, sometimes we know people, and unless we've got their birthday, we don't know for sure, just like Dave said, that's the approximate date. That, I mean, we're legislators and we need to be responsible for these.
But
We
you
need to dispose of this whenever, or keep it in your own files.
You could hand it out and then return it back, you know, but, you know,
You pick them all up after the meeting. So
well, except for the people that,
the problem is that
yeah. But no, I agree with Andy on that, I don't like giving my birth and my location where I was born and all that, you know.
But isn't it important for us as
It's important,
legislators to see the
but I think
dates?
that it's eyes only, and you have to, you know. Now, I agree, you know, but
Chairman, if we did release this, we've got to scratch all of the ID numbers in that right-hand column. You've got tribal ID numbers, which we shouldn't be giving out. All the people with tribal ID numbers.
It's not a total number though, that ID number isn't, you know.
Oh, they're not coded? Okay,
They're not total,
okay.
you know. Your ID number is what, 13 numbers or so?
That's fine.
yeah, I don't think that's oh, that is the ID number for the parent.
But that is, it doesn't have the prefix on it.
No,
on the number.
it's still pretty easy to figure out though.
Ms. Capps, the reason I bring it up. I got a call one day in my office that they had hooked up my son, had him in the back seat of a car. And I drove over there and I looked at that kid and I ain't never seen this kid before in my life. Turns out, he said he didn't have his driver's license with him supposedly. But my son, bless his heart, was born on Halloween. And his friends all knew his date of birth and knew his name. So apparently a bunch of them went out and used his name and date of birth every time they got stopped. And I think it was around $20,000 worth of traffic warrants that were out on my son, which it wasn't him, because these other kids using his ID. So I'm really sensitive about name, date of birth combinations like that. And if one of us, it also brings up the confidentiality, that if we're responsible for these, it's not a big problem. But if they just get out in the public, we could cause 400 and some odd people problems.
That's a good point. We will come up with a way to modify this to where the final copy that goes, signed copy, that goes to tribal rolls will have different information. That's the only way I can think to do it.
In the meantime, we could just relinquish these at the end of the meeting.
That's how we do it at the bank. When we're dealing with papers at the bank, we just have to relinquish them when we get
And
finished.
those electronic files, just delete. Simple.
All of you out there, if you would, be sure to delete your file on this tribal roll.
John has a question.
And John Bursaw has a question. Yes.
My pages aren't numbered, but there is a District 4 Father David Dennis Abbott, who has an enrollment number of 13.
What page?
I don't have the page number. The top name is Shanner, Shaner. But about, halfway down on that page is the Father David Dennis Abbott, 00013.
That's an awful low number.
It's a very low number. Also, for the first time, District 4 had 50 enrollees. I do not know that individual. No.
But I had a low number.
Well, on the very last page, Chairman, there's 132.
Saw that too.
How do we know the district? John said he's 50 of them are in his district.
He knows the names.
It says it gives the district right down the column.
numbers written
Oh,
down
okay, I see it now.
right before the parent name.
Okay, I got you.
Any other additions, deletions, corrections, discussion?
One more, Chairman.
Representative Johnson?
I believe it's page 5, 6th from the bottom, Riley Hunter Russell. It shows as a female and he's a male. Both of those Russell kids are my sister's grandchildren.
So page 6,
Page 5, I believe, 6th from the bottom.
okay. Rickley Russell,
Yeah, Riley Hunter Russell lists as a female and that's a male.
yeah, the M and F is mother, father.
Okay, because they're both males and they're both from the father's Rickley Russell.
He's saying that Riley is a male, not a female.
Right,
Is that what you're saying?
yes.
Yeah, because one's listed as F and the other one's listed as M.
Yeah. He said both of them are males. On the ones that are getting their membership.
So Zachary Ryan Russell is listed wrong then.
No, he's a male, but Riley is a male also. Right above it.
It's MF is mother, father.
No, over there,
They're enrolling through their mother or their father, is what that means if they're beside it.
But this one means they're male or female.
This one's enrolling through the mother or enrolling through the father.
So the one on the right, but the one on the right is mother's.
This is one where they're enrolling through mother or father.
And then that's female or male on the
No,
far right.
that was where they were enrolled through their mother or their father as well.
so that doesn't mean the sex of the individual. Oh, I always thought it did.
So Zachary is wrong. Zachary should be his father.
Zachary's is wrong. All right, any other corrections? Chairman, entertain a motion to approve the resolution as read. So moved. Or as amended. Motion made by Eva Marie Carney, seconded by Paul Spittlekoffer. Roll call, please.
Chairman Barrett,
Okay.
Vice Chairman Capps,
Okay,
Secretary Treasurer Trousdale, Konigay, Representative Bowden,
Koeniger,
Representative Barrett,
Honegay,
Representative Whistler,
Okay.
Representative Wesselhoft,
Koeniger.
Representative Walters,
Koeniger.
Representative Spittlekoffer,
Koeniger.
Representative Eva Marie Carney, Representative Bursaw, Representative Lambert,
Koeniger,
Representative Payne, Representative Johnson,
Koeniger,
Representative Dave Carney,
Koeniger.
15 in favor, 0 opposed.
15 in favor, 0 opposed. It is approved. Chair declares we'll go to executive session. Chris, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, we're going to executive session. The chairman entertain a motion to adjourn. So moved. Motion made by Paul Spittlekoffer,
second.
seconded by David Barrett. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Oh, wait, I'm sorry, roll call. I'm sorry, roll call.
Chairman Barrett,
Okay,
Vice Chairman Capps,
okay.
Secretary Treasurer Trousdale, Konigay, Representative Bowden,
Koeniger,
Representative Barrett,
Honegay,
Representative Whistler,
Okay.
Representative Wesselhoft,
Again.
Representative Walters,
Koeniger.
Representative Spittlekoffer,
okay.
Representative Eva Marie Carney,
Honegay.
Representative Bursaw, Representative Lambert,
Koeniger,
Representative Payne, Representative Johnson,
Koeniger.
Representative Dave Carney,
Koeniger.
15 in favor, 0 opposed.
In favor, 0 opposed. We are adjourned. Thank you all, everyone, for a good meeting.
thank you.